Well, I said I'd do this a long time ago. Let's see if I can get this. I guess it's going to be oriented like this. So I've got a 2000 Pontiac Bonneville. This is currently what I'm working with as far as the motor. I've got the Holden intake manifold. I have the Garrett GT35 82R turbo, ceramic coated that. Hot side is also ceramic coated with a blanket over it. I've got a ceramic coated crossover pipe, titanium DEI wrap downpipe, which is also ceramic coated just for that added awesomeness. With that, it's running a pretty good tune. Big 10.5 millimeter wires on there. Not really sure why. I had to make a custom, as you can see, coolant tube that goes under under everything there. It's not intercooled for the time being. It's running ethanol, so E85 kind of saves it. But currently on the tune, it'll spool the turbo just by revving it up. And it's actually got a setup where it retards the timing under a certain flow rate. So basically dumping some extra fuel in there, creating kind of a pseudo anti-lag. It's an automatic, it doesn't really need it. Yeah, so BMW power steering reservoir back there for a 3 Series. I have it running with tubes that you can kind of see going back to the power steering pump. Yeah, that's a really kind of hobgobbled job there, but I don't really need power steering, so if it ever goes, it's not a big loss. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm working with. Just making sure nothing's hitting the hood there. As far as the engine goes, it runs about 5 pounds of boost right now. You can see Bonneville here. Like I said, runs about 5 pounds of boost. Not too much, but more than what it needs. I've got, come to find out, Advanced Auto actually has some really good gauge. If I can get that to focus on here. So I've got a Bosch boost gauge. It's actually really good and very, very accurate. I tested it against a VDO boost gauge over there. This one actually reads boost going to the wastegate. So whenever I hit boost, I'll see how much pressure is actually going to the wastegate. This one reads how much pressure is actually making it to the manifold. I did that just so I could see what I was running out of curiosity. I don't really need it. No one really needs that setup, but it's interesting nonetheless. I have a wideband 02. It's currently not hooked up. It's a very rough tune on this car right now. It runs really good daily. I don't see very much knock at all. Yeah, so B&M ratchet shifter. Actually, I've gotten a lot of questions about this. It is a B&M Quicksilver ratchet shifter in there. So if I go ahead and it's in neutral right now. That's drive, as we can see. Wants to go forward. Third, second, first. We can see that on the gauge there if there wasn't so much glare. But as much as there may be questions about how I did that, it's really not complicated. I'll at some point pull this apart, the center console here, and show you what it's made of. Oh my god, everything's so dirty. This light's showing it up. I'll show you details about how that's set up, but with the current tune, it's actually set up, if I put it in drive, it'll shift into gears really early. So with this, I can manually choose when it's going to shift in those gears just by holding them in there longer. Because right now, I'd really prefer it not to get into its power band. As we can see, we've got this lovely white stuff on the ground. The earlier it shifts into an up or a higher gear, the better for me, because this thing is absolutely impossible to keep traction with. Traction control is completely useless. It just loads the engine and spools the turbo. With that, yeah, that's just about all I have to say about it right now. At some point, I'll get a little bit better video. Oh, also, 201,000 miles. I don't plan on this lasting for too long, but it's actually, everything has been done right. Everything that has been done to this car with the whole idea of longevity. Really, really conservative boost. In the summertime, I will most likely be adding an intercooler to it. Aside from that, and this is what we're working with. It's got the typical Bonneville rot that I gotta fix that. So while it was in storage and I was working on it, I broke the rear reflector, so I gotta get a new one of those. If anyone happens to know where I can find one, I would love someone to tell me. Big pipes. Sounds pretty good. It's quiet. Turbo really quieted things down. I really like that. As you can see, it's definitely packed with snow. Yeah, it's lowered. Oh, I'm burning off my tires. It's lowered about 1.5 inches in the front, 1.25 inches in the rear. Not too much else done to it. It has much more interesting summer tires that actually come right out to the edge of the fenders. They're the 17s off of an SSEI with 245 or 255 Michelin Pilot MX4s on them. Obviously, I can't run those in the wintertime. It doesn't really help. But yeah, that is my Bonneville. It's in that midnight blue metallic that very easily flakes off. That's not coming off of there. Lovely. New York. Gotta love it. Yeah, so I'll get a better video of the car driving and stuff during the daytime, probably tomorrow. I know some of my videos say, oh hey, I'm gonna do something, you know, the next day, tomorrow. I will actually get a video of it driving. I've got, excuse me, it's very cold. I've got my, now it's been sitting here idling too long, phone up there with a whole bunch of information. I can use that as a camera while I drive down the road. So, so loud. Yeah. Aside from that, I will go ahead and at some point get a video here and show y'all what it does. Alright. Till then.